Hi, and welcome to the deep dive into AP Classroom resources, specifically for our AP English Language and AP English Literature teachers. This particular session is going to focus on our topic questions. My name is Dana Koppelman. I'm the Executive Director of AP Instruction here at the College Board, and I look forward to diving into these resources with you. We'll be going through all of these videos on YouTube to show you the various resources available for you for use in your classroom with your students. There's a session on AP Daily Videos, this session on the topic questions, an additional session on our formative questions, the personal progress checks with the progress dashboard, as well as the question bank. Before we dive into the topic questions, I want to provide a brief overview of the suite of resources we've created to support teaching and learning last year and this year. We started with rolling out the course and exam descriptions, or CED binders, in May of 2019. These outlines provided unit guides for both English language and English literature to help pace the way in which you teach course skills over time. These courses were both designed around a 140-day instructional calendar, hoping that that provides more flexibility and the ability to deep dive into particular areas you feel are most interesting to your students. We know this year more than ever that that flexibility was helpful when instructional time was somewhat lost due to hybrid or virtual learning. This September 2020, we launched AP Daily Videos. These short segmented videos are designed for every skill in the English language and English literature CED, and they provide a deep dive into what students should know and how they should practice it with master AP educators. These videos, made by a backup band of teachers, are designed to complement or supplement your learning for your students as you see fit. Today, we'll go into the topic questions. Launched last year, these formative questions are designed for daily checks for understanding, aligned to the daily videos to provide just-in-time feedback to both you and your students. In another session, we'll dive into the personal progress checks, end-of-unit formative assessments that are designed to provide teachers with feedback of how students are performing throughout the year and to help students get the feedback that they need in order to course correct misunderstandings and to continue to build their mastery. For this session, however, let's focus on the topic questions. Topic questions are designed to provide practice for students for every skill listed in the course and exam description, which is also listed in the AP Classroom landing page. The topic questions enable teachers to check for understanding in a formative way, and they can then give individual support for students who seem to be struggling with particular skills, as well as classroom support to help you determine if you should move on to the next skill or course correct in an upcoming synchronous class. These quizzes provide just-in-time feedback for you as an educator to get a pulse on where your students are, and just-in-time feedback for students so they can course correct and truly own their learning of a particular skill in your course. As I mentioned, topic questions are formative. They should not be used for classroom grades, and they should not be high stakes. They can be used before, during, or after instruction as things such as a bell ringer, warm-up questions, homework, or exit tickets. Let's dive into the AP Classroom platform now and show you how to both create and then assign these topic questions. If you're following along online, you should go into myap.collegeboard.org and bring yourself to your classroom homepage. On my Chrome browser right now, you should see what happens when I log into myap.collegeboard.org. I'm brought to my landing page. As an AP colleague, I'm a member of Trevor Packer High School, and then all of the classes from which I am course audit approved. So I can either go to the card for the particular class I want to show, or use the drop-down menu to get to any class that I would like to dive into. For today's demonstration, I'm going to use English Literature and Composition. So once I click on the course, I'm brought to the home screen. To familiarize yourselves with this screen, you'll notice that you're provided with an outline similar to what exists in the CED. It starts with a course tab where there are key resources you should make sure to spend time looking at. An electronic version of your CED, a PDF that covers all of the available AP Daily videos, which also is covered in that YouTube session, a pacing guide should you have lost instructional time in the fall and be looking to see how you can pick up the speed, knowing that you've only covered roughly 25 to 33% of your course in the fall of 2020. If you're past that, keep going with the pace and the success with which you're finding with your students. You'll notice then that you have each of the unit tabs, which provides access to the unit guides and question bank, and we'll cover that more in the question bank YouTube video, as well as the various skills that should be taught in each of these units. There's then the listed relevant AP Daily videos, and as noted by the yellow light bulb icon, the topic questions that we'll create quizzes for in a moment. If you scroll to the bottom of each unit, you'll also find your personal progress checks, which can be assigned either from the unit page or across the top in these quick guides under progress checks or the progress dashboard. Again, in the other YouTube sessions on progress checks and the question bank, we'll dive into these tabs a bit more. One key feature that we've recently added that we'd like to point out is the instructional resource search. This search bar allows you to use any content term, concept, skill, and you can search throughout all of the resources available to you as an English literature, in the case of this demo, or English language teacher. Also, make sure to check out our quick tips should you want to dive briefly yet deeply into any of these resources when you're doing your individual work in AP Classroom. There's one specifically on assigning AP topic questions if you want to use that after watching this YouTube video. So let's go about assigning a topic quiz. I'm going to start in Unit 4 of English Literature. You'll notice when I get to Unit 4, which is Short Fiction 2, there's a series of skills that I should cover as a teacher. For each skill, I have AP Daily videos that I can assign, and then I have aligned topic questions that I can assign to get just-in-time feedback and to give just-in-time feedback to my students. The yellow icon lets me know these are the formative assessment items. This same yellow icon exists in the question bank where these questions live. If I click on topic questions for, let's use skill 1 in Short Fiction 2, I'm brought over to the question bank, but the question bank has already been filtered for me for the particular questions aligned to this formative assessment. So you'll notice it's at Unit 4, which was Short Fiction 2. It's multiple skills selected because of what appears in that skill category, and it's by the AP topic question. There you'll see there's a series of multiple choice questions that are all considered formative with the yellow light bulb, and that I can either preview and self-select, or that I can add all together as one quiz. Because I want to give this as a homework assignment following my students watching the AP Daily videos, I'm going to click on this and will automatically be taken to a place where I can create a quiz. So I'll say Unit 4, Skill 1 Topic Quiz. And then you'll notice I go from the tab of Browsing Questions to the tab where my personalized quiz has already been created for me. From there, I have a couple of options. First, I can preview each of the questions so that I, as the teacher, can know what type of passages my students will be reading, what type of prompts and questions they'll be asked to look at, and if I dive into the question scoring and details, I can find out what the right answer will be for my students and the rationale they'll be provided should they select that answer, as well as the rationale for the incorrect answers, so that I can see how my students will be course corrected when doing these quizzes on their own. This same section also provides me with alignment to my course and exam description so that I can know what particular essential knowledge statements, skills, big ideas are covered so that I know where my students are in the course. You can assign it from this preview window or go back to your quiz where you can also move the question orders up and down, and then once ready, assign. When you're brought to the assignment window, you have a variety of options to choose from. You can assign to all of your classes if you have more than one. In this case, I have 2 sections under Ms. Koppelman. You can choose a start and an end date if you want to stop when the students can take this particular assignment. You can also make it a timer if it's a bell ringer when students first arrive in class. Topic questions can be administered online or in print. And you have the option to see student results. So students can then see the rationales either right after they get the score and submit it, or when I release it. Because these are formative assessment items and I want to give my students just-in-time feedback, I recommend you keep student see scoring just after they get their results. So I'm going to give this quiz to all of my classes now. You'll notice I've moved from the question tab to the assessment tab, where all of the assessments I've created and assigned have been filtered. I can then go in and make sure that I assign them to my students. So you'll see here that I've assigned this one, Unit 4, Scale 1 topic quiz. I assigned it to Section 2 and to Section 1, though very few have completed them. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to go into where a quiz is already complete to then show you what we do with the key data we've received from our students. So let's go over to the Results tab. Once in my results, I can see very quickly how the students did. In a past quiz that I created under Unit 5, Skill 3.C, it seemed that many of my students struggled with this particular skill. You'll notice that student results are determined in quartiles: less than 25%, between 25 and just under 50, between 50 and just under 75, and over 75. I can then see how each of my students fared on that quiz so as to better prepare either my full classroom instruction, which I might want to do on this particular skill, or individual if I have a small group or one student who seems to be struggling more than most. I'm going to look at the Unit 5 multiple choice quiz here. And once I dive into the particular results of one quiz, I can look at the question level and student level data. For the question level data, I can see on a high level the results. Where did my students struggle most? It seems question 7 was one of the hardest ones with the prompt advice to a prophet. I can further click into this question, see the prompt, see the answer choices, and not just see how many of my students got the right answer or wrong answers, but the wrong answers that each student individually selected, so I can help course correct their misunderstanding before moving on to a more challenging skill. I also have the ability to look at related content, questions, and AP Daily videos to provide further support and practice, either at the student level or in the class as a whole. At a time when we're doing a lot of hybrid and virtual learning, there's opportunities to coach students in small synchronous settings. That's where I find the student results to be the most helpful. When I dive into the student results, I get a quick glimpse of how my students did across the board. But it allows me to one-on-one consult for students such as Christina when I meet with her and she seems to be struggling. We can look at how she did on each of her questions, and then further, Christina and I can look at why the answer she created was wrong from a rationale point of view, and why the right answer was right. It allows me to coach and mentor my students and helps them course correct when they're having misunderstandings. Again, all of the topic questions living within the question bank, but pre-sorted based on selecting the topic questions from my home screen. So as a brief recap, when you're in your home screen, regardless of what unit you're on, you have a series of topic questions that align to each of the skills in that particular unit. They also align to the content that has been covered in the AP Daily videos. You can create these formative quizzes by clicking on it and getting a pre-sorted group of questions with the yellow light bulb icon in the question bank, and either select the questions for yourself, or you can add those questions to a quiz that you can customize for your class. Either way that you do that, on your own or for them, you'll have the opportunity to provide just-in-time feedback for your students and get just-in-time feedback for yourself to help improve your instruction for your students. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching and learning more about our topic questions, and to also thank you for all of the support you give your students day in and day out. Please continue to watch these AP YouTube videos to learn more about the other resources and supports on AP Classroom. Have a wonderful day.